Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Aggie Central podcast, where I'm covering two amazing teams in Miami and Ohio State since A&M has gotten knocked out. If you're a Buckeyes fan and you're tuning in for the first time, I mentioned something in the last episode that I did on y'all. I mentioned that you are number one in total D. You're holding teams to an elite 213 yards per game. You're top five in rush D. You are the top rated passing defense. You're the best rated scoring defense. Only team holding opponents to less than 10 points per game. And this just got me kind of excited. And so I went and checked into it quite a bit more because I want to understand this. Okay. Interacting with you all in the comments has been fantastic. So I'm going to show you why I think your team is so good. Okay. For the Miami fans that are joining me, they're consummate like ball drinkers. They love to look, see, understand, find out what's going on, check out their matchup. And so I've gotten to see how thirsty they are for that. And I want to show them more about your team. And for the Aggies that are in this, I want to show them what these two amazing teams look like and what we need to project our team to be like so that we can become a team that's going to be in the top eight, top four, even playing the national title game. That's what I want. So don't get too frightened by the Colt member talking to you about a little bit of ball. Okay. I got no bobbleheads on the back, right? No little football helmets. We're just going to talk ball. I'm going to show you why I think your team is so good. Now, last time when I showed you some stuff on Miami, I focused a little bit more on players. As I dove into this a little bit more on you, I don't think it has to do so much with players, or at least tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about situational stuff. I think your success boils down to three things. Opponent third down conversion, because we're just talking strictly about your D. Opponent third down conversion rate, your red zone defense, and what opponent long plays from scrimmage, essentially. So explosive plays. And those three categories are something I want to show you about your team. And then I want to hear more from you all. I'm learning as much as I can about your team. But if there's something I missed, tell me about it in the comments. I want to know so much about yours. I enjoyed so much learning about Miami. And it's just been a fantastic situation interacting with all of you in the comments. So let me jump right into it and show you what I've found. So we're going to start about showing you the third down situation. Okay, so I'm going to run these plays by you a couple times. I'll stop them where I think it's good, but let me show you this one first. Of course, I picked Michigan to stroke the egos just a little bit. 1 yard gain. Okay, now we got us a 3rd and 6. Michigan gets the first down. Okay, I'm going to come back to that play because along the way, I'm also going to tell Miami, give them my opinion about how I think that they can get by with some of this, how to go up against this high-powered defense. Okay, so let's watch that one more time. Okay, boom, right here, I just want to draw attention to the line of scrimmage. Okay, look and see where the defensive line has basically pushed the line of scrimmage to. Now, 97, I think it's Malone. And then depending on who's on the other side, sometimes it's McDonald, sometimes it's Jackson, maybe even be Curry over there, although I think Curry's already moved up the field and he's on the far side there. They've already moved this line of scrimmage to the -1 side. Okay? These guys are explosive in the center in particular, very explosive. So they've already moved this line of scrimmage back a whole yard. So whenever they make contact, and even if you figure a yard or two of falling forward. What are you looking at here? Maybe 2 yards. You get the extra 3 from falling forward. You're talking about going to be end up a 2nd and 8 kind of situation. So watch again. That's where it does end up. You're already making contact at the -1, slowing him down. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Full contact's made, and of course he falls back down. Miami, what are you going to do about it, right? This is one. Let's just go back to that one time. This is just a real solid play. Here we are right here. Okay, so it's kind of press man on the bottom side, right? What had to happen on this play was the quarterback the receiver, the line of scrimmage. I hesitate to call this an NFL throw, but it's something that I've seen that I want A&M to be able to do as well. Michigan did it well in this particular play, which is just be in sync. Time this one up, run a good route, nothing too fancy or anything, but if you just play good solid ball, you don't have to get the ball out, you can still do something in 2.5 seconds. Let's put it that way, because 2.5 seconds is going to be a big deal for both teams on either side of this line of scrimmage. But this happened in less than 2.5 minutes. It just kind of, I mean, it wasn't quite back shoulder, right? But that's kind of the idea. It's turn and shoot. You got to know exactly when that ball is coming so you can be ready for it. Let's look at another play. Okay, real quick. 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9. Let me back this up. I'll play it for you again. What stood out to me on this play was just how aggressive Ohio State was. And of course, then we're 3rd and 14, right? What are you going to do on 3rd and 14? I mean, you're not going to do much on most downs. If you want to be a good 3rd down defense, it really does you well to do good on 1st and 2nd down. I think bringing pressure on a non-traditional down where you might do that, like on 2nd, attacking that line of scrimmage like they did on the previous one I showed you, all leads up to this. Look at the attack here. Make contact. 3rd and 14 is a huge number. That's why penalties are a big deal. To get that kind of yardage on that is going to yield a missed opportunity on 3rd down for the opposing team most times, right? Most times. The previous one you saw a conversion was just kind of a moderate distance. What, it was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 14 is not going anywhere. If this team brings pressure on 1st and 2nd down, which they do on a regular basis, which is one of the reasons they get them behind the sticks, off schedule, and I think makes them an elite defense when it comes to their 3rd down conversion percentage. A couple things. They are holding opponents to 29% on 3rd down. They are the 7th rated team for opponent 3rd down conversion rate. That's, A&M is up there, and we are a very aggressive defense. We tend to whiff on a few plays here and there. It may just be 4 or 5, and it makes the difference. Definitely made, I think, the difference in us against Miami. I don't think, and I'll show you something here pretty soon, Ohio State doesn't whiff a whole lot. I haven't really seen many whiffs, and I've been looking at as much film as I possibly can. I've watched the Michigan game, of course, the Indiana game. I got to get to a couple more still that are on my list, but you can see from these just how explosive they are on the defensive line and how aggressive they are throughout. Let's get on over to the red zone. Let me show you what they do in the red zone. Again, it's just violence from the snap, right? And I'm going to go back and show you that previous play again and tell you why I think that this false start happened right here. But hey, put you back 5 yards. Attack. 2nd and goal. Reese, number 8, right there in the front, and him making the play on the quarterback right here. That's a high-quality linebacker. Okay, so let's start. Okay, here's what they're doing right here all of a sudden. So you got Malone that's down here next to Curry. Okay, so Curry's going to make the play, but Malone's being double teamed. And then I think you've got Jackson and McDonald on the opposite side. And it's going to take them 3 of those linemen over there to basically go up on them. They get a triple double going on. So, with this whole McDonald situation, triple doubles, it's already got me thinking about some kind of name for this defensive line. And I think Filthy McNasties is probably about the best way to go with that. So I don't know, you heard that here first or something? But because of the double teams that are commanded down there, it lets Curry be the man. Okay, tight end can't get inside of him, can't get leverage, and of course, what are you going to do? You're going to try and get off the snap quicker, right? You're anticipating that, but now you're thinking about it too much and you false start. Ooh, I missed it again. Did you see Reese hit that angle? Did you see him hit that? Mm, I'm going to come back to that one. This guy can really, really move. I'm really impressed with his speed and his tackling. He's a sure tackler, and that's going to be something that plays into the next category as well. Let me get you back. I want to show you that play one more time, though. Okay. Reese is right there in the middle. Um, and he's the one that looks like he's going the fastest right there from the linebacker situation. And he's just going to go attack that shoulder of that lineman. Watch him. And 54 just can't hang with him. He almost has to tackle him just to keep him from getting inside there. That is just an elite play. This is an elite tackle, in my opinion. And this rings true on the rest of this team as well. Let me show you one more thing. Watch this tackle. And that comes from Lorenzo Styles, right? That is a touchdown saving tackle. Have seen. We want A&M's safeties to do that. We want them to take good angles. We want them to wrap up, hold on. We don't want them to be letting things get by. Which that last play right there could have gotten by, but it also didn't. So I chose that one on purpose. So it does two things. One, it shows you how Ohio State did not let them actually get more than that. It was a 10-yard play, um, and they don't allow hardly any plays of 10 yards or more. But Michigan still found a small little advantage here that I think it shows Miami, what you're going to have to look at, the fringe pieces that you'll probably need to focus on to be able to get some work done. Let's okay, watch this tackle one more time. I want to talk about the next one. Man, that is just such a good tackle. The strength that kid's got to make that, he's going, I harp on this with the A&M safeties a lot. Like, you're coming up from that sort of depth and you're going full speed. Like, it's hard to wrap up, right? It's hard to change direction because you can't just plan and go. You've already got momentum going in one direction. And for that kid to make that particular tackle right there, saving that touchdown, 20, 30-yard play, whatever it may be, could make the difference between that and um, a field goal. And at this level, a field goal can really make the difference. Absolutely make the difference. Okay, so what I want to emphasize right here, I think this on this play, Miami fans, this is just something where it's been drawn up really well. Okay, take a look at the center, draw a line straight down the field the way he's pointing. Okay, you kind of got the right defensive tackle, you got the right edge, you got that's a linebacker up that's right there on the line of scrimmage out past him. On the far side line of scrimmage, that's Curry, right? Okay. So on again, following the right side, you've got, I think it's either Reese or Sonny Styles right behind him, and you're gonna, I think, get a safety that's gonna creep up on the right side. Now look at the Michigan offensive line. How many linemen you've got on the right side of the center? So where are the resources, right? You got two linemen to the left side of the center and a wide receiver. I mean, all of the resources are to the right for Michigan, and you just it seems like Ohio State's committed so much over to the right side. So you've only got what? Because technically, the right tackle's on the right side of the center. So he's on this side, and you've really only got four defenders on that far side over there. So, and watch how that makes a difference, right? Michigan pulls a guard, maybe even uses the wide receiver, something like that, some motion to bring another guy over, and you've just got a complete difference in where the resources are. You think of it as a leverage situation. They've got enough leverage on the right side that they can flex that on Ohio State. Uh, that's just one way that it happened. I wouldn't get too terribly happy about those kinds of things happening on a regular basis. But as I was mentioning about the game plan for A&M to beat Miami, I said, you know what? I don't think anybody looks at it on paper and says, hey, you want to run up the middle on Miami. But like if you want to win the game, you kind of have to find some way to do it. And we couldn't find a way to do it. Now, you might say, well, go to the edges, and sure, that it doesn't really become a whole lot easier with the ends that Miami has. And the same thing is going to be true of Ohio State, man. They've got some big guys in the middle and some guy, some high, highly touted guys on the edges as well. So even though the game plan might say, well, they're a little bit easier to deal with from a statistical standpoint on this particular way, I mean, you might just have to man up and go at it. Listen to a couple of these stats. Red zone, they're allowing 60%, excuse me, 66% of the trips to their red zone are resulting in scores, and that is first. First, 66 might sound high. That's first. Only half of those are even resulting in a touchdown. So 66. Now that other number of touchdowns, that's second only to Indiana, by the way. So that they'll be coming up if you have to play them. Long plays from scrimmage. Ohio State's only allowed 90 plays of 10 yards or more all year long, right? For perspective, A&M's allowed 155. 155 plays of 10 yards or more that A&M's allowed. When you double the yardage to 20 yards, they're doing half of what A&M's allowed. A&M's allowed like 55 plays of 20 yards or more this season, and Ohio State's like 26. So yeah, you can see why that defense is so elite. They're so physical on the defensive line. They tackle well. Geez, what else? You see the quality from the tackling throughout, not just safeties, the linebackers, and everything. So the coaching piece there is pretty impressive. I mean, look, hat tip to you, Ohio State Buckeyes, man. Y'all got one heck of a defense rolling. I see some A&M there, to be quite honest. When A&M's playing, like we watch our game against Miami, and really you can see a lot of Miami the way they play on the defensive line too. But you're just way more consistent than A&M has been. I think you've got some guys that can hold up better in the middle. McDonald is crazy strong. Him and Jackson, Curry with the speed, and God, Malone. I remember his name coming up. I think he was a guy I wanted back in 2021 or 22, whatever it was. I need to go back and look and see how he got over there or whatever. If he's been with y'all the entire time, those are big dudes. They are run stoppers, and that's where the strength of this defense starts. So Miami will have it their work cut out for them. But I think it's something that I've been impressed with Miami on how they game planned and they schemed. A couple things they did on offense that I realized I was just trying to take in as much ball as I possibly could too. Them how much they ran the pistol against us, so as to not give some additional information about the running back's going to be on the right side or left side that they thought were helping to tip us off on what kind of play we might be defending against. So the coaching from Miami definitely going to have to probably give them an edge on some of this. And I think it's something they definitely can do. So Miami, I hope that on this Christmas Day blessed you all to see what you're up against. Y'all are two amazing teams, and I cannot wait to watch this one the whole way through. Eh, there's some more to be done here. I'm gonna be out of town for a couple days. Probably hit you with another episode on Sunday or Monday. So do what you got to do to get that episode coming to you. Okay. In the meantime, Ohio State fans, if I missed something, let me know. I want to know as much as I can about your team. I think your team's um, deeply interesting. Miami fans knows I'm enamored with their team as well, just for many reasons. But love these two fan bases right now for what y'all have brought to the table. So hoping to emulate you guys at some level with A&M. So with that, I'll hit you up in a couple of days. Peace.